Welcome to the regular freeholder meeting held on Wednesday, October 24th, 2018 at 7 o'clock p.m. at the Franklin Municipal Building. Have a roll call, please.
Freeholder Graham.
Here.
Freeholder Lazaro.
Here.
Freeholder Patillo. Here. Freeholder Director Rose.
Present.
Freeholder Yardley.
Present.
Can I have a moment of silence and salute to the flag, please? Aye.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975, adequate notice is defined by Section 3T of Chapter 231, PL 1975, has been made by regular mail. Such notice being submitted on January 8, 2018 from the Administrative Center of the County of Sussex, located at 1 Spring Street, Newton, New Jersey, to the following: New Jersey Herald, New Jersey Sunday Herald, Star Ledger, WSUS Radio, WNJ Radio. It is also posted on the bulletin board maintained in the Administrative Center for public announcements that has been submitted to the Sussex County Clerk in compliance with said act. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved.
Motion by Patillo.
Second.
Second by Graham. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The agenda is approved. Proclamations, certificates, and presentations. The Salute to Veterans proclamation will be submitted, or will be given on November 4th at the Military Veterans Parade and the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Can I have a motion to adopt both of these proclamations?
So moved.
Motion by Patillo, second by Graham. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The proclamations are approved. Freeholder Graham, can you give the proclamation?
Yes.
Tracy Storms from Division of Health is here to receive it.
Tracy.
Ribbons.
Yep.
Pink ribbons. You don't got to pin them on us?
Thank you.
Hi.
I left yours over
Thank you. This is near and dear to my heart. My mother was a survivor. My sister's a survivor. My grandmother was not. And they all died young. But, not my sister, I'm sorry, my sister didn't die young, but my grandmother died young from breast cancer. But my mother got it right around the same age as her mother did. So it's I guess it's genetic. But what was good was the awareness that she was looking at it, where in my grandmother's time, they weren't looking at it. You know, it was not something that was in the focus of everybody's mind. So awareness is probably more important than anything else. Just make sure that people do understand how important this is to have yourself checked, and that the county is very much involved in this. Whereas breast cancer is a serious health threat to women and men across Sussex County, the state of New Jersey, and our nation. Breast cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in women, and the risk increases with age. Breast cancer is typically detected either through a screening examination before symptoms have developed, or after symptoms have developed when a woman or man notices a change in their breast. Screening, early detection, and prompt treatment can significantly reduce the suffering and deaths caused by this disease. Increasing the public awareness of the disease, including risk factors and symptoms, will save lives of women and men as they learn to recognize the warning signs. Whereas the Sussex County Division of Health, Sussex Warren Chronic Disease Coalition, and New Jersey Cancer Education and Early Detection, which is the NJC, we receive grants for this program, collaboratively promote the National Breast Cancer Awareness Month and the Susan G. Coleman's Tie a Ribbon campaign throughout the month of October. Now therefore be it resolved that the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders does hereby recognize the month of October 2018 as National Breast Cancer Awareness Month in Sussex County. Freeholder Director Jonathan Rose, Deputy Director Sylvia Patillo, Freeholders Carl Lazaro, Herbert Yardley, and George Grant. Please speak with us.
I would just like to thank all of the municipalities for participating in the Tie Ribbon campaign. It's a great awareness throughout the entire county. And thank the freeholders for housing association.
Now, who put the ribbon around the whole building?
My new community health worker.
That's what you were up there.
Yeah, it's a good job.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you very
much.
much.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we have a presentation by Bill Cosenitz and Marge McCabe regarding a Homeland Security grant.
Hello.
Hello.
I just wanted to bring to the Freeholder Board's attention that New Jersey has acquired $9.7 million in grant funding through HAVA, which is Help America Vote Act. And it will be broken out to the counties in several different ways. The first way is going to be an ADA grant, which we will utilize to upgrade our polling locations so that they're ADA compliant. If a building is publicly owned, then the state will pay 100% for upgrades within reason to make a polling location accessible. In the last grant go-around, I was able to acquire automatic doors for this building, for Newton Municipal Building, and for the Hampton Township Senior Center, as well as a new ramp in that location, plus a lot of other little fixes. So with this new money, I'm really going to be pushing the clerks to take a look at their facilities and get the money to do the upgrades. When I spoke to the state today, in the last grants go-around, only 9 counties utilized the funding, which is unconscionable to me. If you have monies and then you don't go for it. Now, I understand getting grant money it's a lot of hard work. You know, writing grants is not easy. But you have to be willing to put in the work to get the benefit. So I will be doing that to try to get the money. Also part of this HAVA grant, for a county our size, the state will give us up to $70,000 to purchase new voting machines for a pilot program. And all of you may be aware that our voting machines are now 17 years old. And the technology is old. The machines are getting old, and while we love them and they work well and they're maintained well, 17 years for electronics is a long time. So it's really time that we look at what's next. And the big push now is to have a paper trail. So we're looking to see what is out there that has a paper trail. We think that voters will be much more confident in their votes if there's a paper backup. And I understand those thoughts. So probably for next June primary, we will be either purchasing or leasing voting machines for a small area, perhaps Freedom, because it's 4 districts in one building, and it's close to Newton and it's contained. So my board will be deciding where to utilize these machines and try them out and get a feel for what's out there and if we want to purchase those in the future. And the big item is the grant funding to do a facilities and a cyber analysis and upgrade, and I'll let Bill talk about the cyber in a moment. But one thing that they are willing to do, and this is through Homeland Security, is come to the building where we are located and do a complete assessment of the building, the parking lot, the building, the entrances, the windows, the security, the cameras, everything, and make recommendations to secure the building and provide the funding through the grant to make the upgrades so that there'll be no cost to the county. So I, along with Bill and Joe Busso, completed an assessment of our facility, and that's been forwarded to the state. And right after the November election, a gentleman from Homeland Security will be coming up and doing an evaluation. But if you'd like to talk about the cyber.
Yeah, the cybersecurity, there's a lot of money available for that. They do a hygiene test weekly now, so we'll get a report on the penetration of how easy it is or how hard it is for that office. They're also willing to buy security gateways for that, as well as have monitoring services attached to that network. So it's monitored 24/7, 365. So I think that's a great opportunity for us to seize on that right now.
Right,
As well as the physical security of the office as well needs to be addressed.
right. So I will keep the board in the loop as things progress. I will share any kind of reports that Homeland Security gives to us and any recommendations that they have. And then as time goes on, what needs to be done to make those security upgrades. Do you have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have no public hearings. Public session from the floor. Comments are limited to 5 minutes or less and must only address issues regarding agenda items, followed by a 3-minute response time from the Freeholder Board. Please state your name and then print your name and municipality on the sign-in sheet. I have a motion to open the floor for public comment. Motion by Tillo, second by Pizarro. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The floor is open to the public. Seeing no one from...
Dick Arena, 23 Lozelle Road, Franklin, New Jersey. On behalf of our Council President, Dawn Felicia, and our Councilman, Steve Skellinger, I'd like to welcome you to Franklin, the mineral capital of the world, fluorescent capital of the world. I'd like to just speak on 1 second of your time on the VOTEC versus the county college issue. I attended both of those institutions. It was kind of my start, my first job I got as a designer and a
I don't think
draftsman for
that's-
Jersey Central. That's not on the agenda?
I don't think we have anything. So is there any possibility to wait till the second open session?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you
sir.
for your time. I'll be back.
All right. Anyone else in the public? Seeing no one else in the public, can I have a motion to close the floor for public comment and return to regular order of business?
So moved.
Motion by Cotillo, second by Lazaro. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The floor is closed to the public. Freeholder comments? Freeholder Graham?
I just want to thank Franklin for hosting this. It's nice to get the Freeholder meeting on the road. I guess maybe we should need to do more publicity next time. That would be good. But other than that, I really don't have anything to say.
Freeholder Yardley?
Just that I've been attending the budget hearings and found it very, just that I've been attending the budget hearings, found them very interesting. I think has given me a lot of insight into the operation of the departments aside from the budget. And of course, this is preliminary, and I wanted to thank Greg for the way he set up the format. It's very, very well informed, so thanks. That's it.
Freeholder Lazaro?
I also have spent the last 2 weeks in budget hearings. It's a enlightening and difficult thing to do because it's a lot of times have to say no, and nobody wants to hear no. Everybody wants, but sometimes you can't do it. And we're trying to hold the line and keep the tax rate down. So that's a challenge, as it is every time we have budget hearings. But the staff has been very cooperative. They've been well prepared, and they've come in with their goals and the things that they want to do, and everything has been very organized and well done. And kudos to you, Mr. Pop, for putting that together so well. The road department, as you see, have been working continuously. You'll see them along the sides of the road doing, I call it the fall tarring. The technical word for it is crack filling. And they'll be along the sides of all the county roads trying to get them ready for winter. The plows are being put on the trucks in anticipation of the snow coming soon, so the roads and bridges are in good shape. New bridge has been started over in Frankfurt, and that one should be completed in the next couple of weeks. So that department is moving along very well. The bridge to nowhere in Frankfurt is will be complete before the end of the month, I think. They're waiting for it to set in a what do you call them? A prefab. The Sparta wall is completed. That was the stone wall that had to be replaced and rebuilt. That's done, and that's completed also. And that's all I have.
Thanks, Freeholder Deputy Director Patel.
Yes, I had the opportunity to attend the Art Council Masquerade Ball. It was really a lot of fun, and it's something that you should next year go to. I haven't been to a masquerade ball since I was a child, and it was amazing that people came in costumes. Ernie, were you there? 'Cause I didn't see it. Oh, because you're shaking your head. But yeah, it's true. It just brings you back to your childhood and the fun of Halloween and all that that's about. And as I said, the one that I thought was the best was the Phantom of the Opera, which was Michael Hanafin with his long black wig. But there was the dinosaur there, and I don't know if anyone on Facebook has seen the little girl get off the school bus and her family is dressed like dinosaurs, and she says, "This is why I hate when my family picks me up at the bus stop." And there was a dinosaur person in the same dinosaur outfit. It was huge. And I kept figuring out how in the world are they actually seen and being able to navigate this, but actually in the neck itself is this clear area where your head would actually fit, where you can actually see. Those two costumes were the best, but it was so well planned and so beautifully orchestrated. It was really a very enjoyable night. The other event I went to was the Operation Enduring Freedom, the Never Forgotten, that is held at Picatinny Arsenal every year. And this is where they honor the 174 service members that gave their lives during, right after 9/11 in Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation New Dawn. So those contingency operations began on October 7th, 2001 and ended on December 31st, 2014. And they take you by bus. First they have this beautiful ceremony, then they take you by bus to this area. They planted 174 trees for each hero and heroine that gave the ultimate sacrifice during these different contingencies. And the families are brought there and they can spend time, their names are there and all their information is there. And in Apacon, we lost Sergeant Michael Crispell Jr. on October 27th, 2010, and he has a tree there as well. And it's always nice to go and just to remember his sacrifice, someone that was actually a part of our community. So this too, if you ever have a chance to go to, I know they invite us, it's just, the Picatinny Arsenal just does such a beautiful, well-organized program, but it's so touching with the military present being a part of it. And it's so wonderful to go and see these honors that they have and the memorials they built for these 174 service members. So that's it.
Thank you. Freeholders, please review the consent agenda. Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex have reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions and determined that adoption of said resolutions is in and will further the public interest. If any freeholder would like to remove an item to be considered separately, please do so now. I have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Lazar, second by Patillo. Discussion.
Yes, Mr. Director. Oh, I guess I gotta hold it down there. The first resolution provides for the county to submit for scatter tap and Section 5311 funds, which are funds that are used to fund the county transit services. The next resolution authorizes the execution of a letter of agreement for TANF and needs-based work support through the Employment and Training Services. Resolution C is authorizing an agreement with Norwest Cap for the provision of cancer control and prevention programs. Resolution D is the insertion of an item of revenue, adding grant monies to the budget. Resolution E is for the county to be able to participate in the Hunterdon County Educational Services Commission, which is a cooperative purchasing entity. Resolution F provides for pay-to-play compliance and allows the purchasing agent to issue certain purchase orders. Resolution G authorizes the renewal of an agreement for the library software that they use to manage the library system. Resolution H provides for the renewal of commodity resale agreement between the county and Hardiston Township. In the case the county needs emergency fuel supplies, this reestablishes that agreement with Hardiston Township. Resolution I, J, K, and L all provide for various agreements with Prime Healthcare Services, St. Clair's, for a number of services that may be utilized for those inmates at the correctional facility. I is for medical care, J, laboratory and phlebotomy services, K, radiology, and L, ambulance transportation. I know that there's been some question raised relative to the county entering into these agreements, and then also with Atlantic Healthcare, just so that the board and the public are aware. The primary medical care is done through Atlantic Health Systems, through Newton Medical Center, at an approximate cost of about $50,000 for the last year, with about $1,000 going to Prime Healthcare St. Clair's. And so these are for services that are not available through Newton Medical Center and Atlantic Healthcare, but certainly the majority of the healthcare expenses are to Atlantic Healthcare. Resolution M is the renewal of the medical director's agreement for the medical director at the jail. Resolution N provides for grant funds that will support a number of maintenance agreements with OEM, which include the Swift 911 system, Spillman, and also CRG, which has enabled the mapping of school buildings throughout the county. Resolution O is for the submission and approval of the annual transportation program, which provides the state aid out of the Transportation Trust Fund, and that is in excess of $5 million. And I believe that concludes the resolutions.
Thank you, Mr. Poff. Any further comments? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Graham.
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes.
Freeholder Yard.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held on October 10th, 2018?
So,
Motion by Graham,
second.
second by Patillo. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it, the minutes are accepted. Appointments and/or resignations. Freeholders, please review the appointments and/or resignations, and when satisfied, please make a motion to accept the appointments and/or resignations.
Motion.
Motion by Graham,
Second.
second by Patillo. Discussion?
I just want to thank anybody who puts their name up for all of the boards, and particularly the Sussex County Transit Citizen Advisory Committee is a very important role, because it allows us to understand the needs of all different facets of our community. So I want to thank Mr. Wise for putting his name in. Thanks.
Mr. Poff, can you just speak briefly about 12B and where we're at with that for both the board and the public?
Yes, absolutely. As the board and the public may be aware, the county holds a majority interest in the Cochran House, and the Cochran House is governed by a condominium association. As the Board of Trustees for the Cochran House has not met for a number of years, there are a number of business items that are to be addressed. In order to do that, the county is obligated under the terms of the bylaws of the condominium association to appoint board of directors, because there's been a change in county personnel over the years. It is appropriate that the freeholders consider the resolution before you this evening that allows a number of county officers to serve on the Board of Trustees to the Cochran House. That would include myself, the county treasurer, and the county's assistant treasurer.
And there will be nobody else serving on the board, correct? It's just county?
That's correct.
Because of the percentages?
That is correct. The county at this time, there are 2 unit owners, the County of Sussex and BLD LLC. The County of Sussex now owning 75% interest in the building will be the sole representative on the Board of Trustees. That's correct.
Thank you, Mr. Powell.
Can I just make a point on that? This has been something that we've been trying to address for quite some time. I think the big surprise was that we hadn't had a meeting in so many years that the names go back a lot of years on who's on this board that are not county employees. But it's very important because Cochran House is an old building. It's 50 years old. And there's a lot of upgrades, there's a lot of issues that we've had, not the least being the problem that we have with the roof going back about 4 years ago. About 4 years ago, which created all kinds of havoc. And at that particular time, because we did not have a good cohesive board, it made it difficult in addressing the issues. So what Mr. Poff is doing is not only necessary, but it's been necessary for a long time. Thank you for taking care of it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any further comments? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Graham,
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro,
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo,
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Resolution regarding providing temporary closure of County Route 613 in Sparta Township for the Sparta Township Educational Foundation's annual Turkey Trot 5K on November 22nd, 2018. Could I have a motion to approve the resolution? Motion by Patillo, second by Lazaro. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is passed. Awards of contract, change orders, and bids. Freeholders, please review the award of contract change orders and bids, and when satisfied, please take a motion to approve contract or change orders and bids.
Make a motion?
Motion by Graham,
Second.
second by Patillo. Discussion?
Yes. One, is this the one where we have seen money coming back to us?
The change order number 1 is as a result of actual quantities. No,
Oh, no, this is something else.
This is fuel and asphalt price adjustments for the first change order. So it's just simply a function of the procurement laws involving the quantities of asphalt, and those adjustments are being made pursuant to statute.
Okay, now, does this address it all in the money that we receive from the state as grants? Is there any way of going back on that because of the increase in the grants? Or are these contracts previous to the increases?
Give me just a moment.
Is this from the 2017 contracts or 2016 contract?
I think it's 60.
16 contract? It sounds like a 16 contract.
Yeah, give me just a moment.
You're talking about A, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
This was actually the 2017 road resurfacing program, which was substantially complete in September of 2018. So this, as I said, these adjustments are as a result of the asphalt and fuel price adjustments under the contracts. It's a standard.
No, I understand that, but in looking at how much money that we have going into our roads, the change order is $476,000,
That's correct.
which is roughly 10% of what we put out in bonding for the roads. So what I'm wondering is any of this $476,000 something that we can go back to the state with the increases in the state transportation trust?
I'll follow up with engineering. I know that we have sufficient appropriations within our capital improvement program to cover
Yeah, I'm sure you would put it up there without having.
to cover these costs.
Right.
As far as what we might be eligible to recoup from the state, I'm not aware of that.
But we can look into it.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you.
There was some discussion at the agenda meeting regarding changing the timing of bidding in order to try to alleviate some of these issues, because right now, if you could just maybe speak to that a little bit, you know the timing better than I do.
Yes, the issue comes down to monies that we receive from the Transportation Trust Fund. The state is currently considering changes in legislation that would modify the timeline as to when monies are awarded to the county and the time that the county is obligated to encumber those funds. What the state is attempting to do is trying to accelerate the award of contracts so that funds that are not used will in fact go back to the Transportation Trust Fund for other projects. The county engineer has been submitting comments to the New Jersey Association of Counties relative to what that impact might be on us relative to being able to get these projects done. Again, I don't mean to beat it to death, but this particular change order is standard for what the requirements are under the law for asphalt and fuel price adjustments.
No, I understand that,
Yeah.
and just to go back, I have a lot of faith in our county engineer. I mean, there's a lot of jobs that I've been involved in my career where the change orders really eat up at the back end of the job, and people don't ask questions. Our engineer does ask questions, but it's a substantial amount in the big scheme of things. And what concerns me is that this was a time of flat oil prices, which means that asphalt and fuel really haven't risen that much in a substantial amount of time. I guess in this last few months it has, but before that it hasn't. So I'm just asking if there's any way to recoup it. That's all.
Any further comments? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Graham.
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Financial, can I have a motion to approve resolution regarding payment of bills, bill list A from October 24th, 2018?
I'll make it.
Motion by Yardley,
Second.
second by Patillo, discussion. Roll call, please.
Freeholder Graham.
Abstain.
Freeholder Lazaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Abstain.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Can I have a motion to approve resolution regarding payment of bills, bill list B from October 24th, 2018?
So moved.
Motion by Patillo, second by Graham, discussion. Roll call, please.
Freeholder Graham.
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Personnel, can I have a motion to approve the personnel agenda resolution regarding authorizing personnel agenda of October 24th, 2018?
Motion.
Motion by Graham,
Second.
second by Patillo, discussion.
The first position is requested by the Division of Social Services for an administrative assistant to assist in managing the Adult Protective Services Program. There are sufficient budget funds within the 2018 budget to accommodate this request. The second is to reclassify a title of Principal Planner to Supervising Planner, which is being done as part of a larger plan in reorganizing the Division of Planning, anticipating the retirement of our most senior Principal Planner at the end of the year.
Thank you. Any further comments?
I have a question. Are these new positions or are we filling old positions? What are we doing?
The administrative assistant in for social services, for adult protective services, is a new position, and the position in the Division of Planning is reclassification of an existing title.
And the funding for the new position is coming from?
The funding for the new position is in the social services budget.
Is that through the state?
Through, yes, that's
Okay.
correct, through state funds.
Thank you.
Any further comments? Roll call, please.
Freeholder Graham.
Yes.
Freeholder Lazaro.
Yes.
Freeholder Patillo.
Yes.
Freeholder Director Rose.
Yes.
Freeholder Yardley.
Yes.
Administrative report?
Yes, as was mentioned earlier, we are in the process of bringing to conclusion our departmental budget hearings in the development of the 2019 budget. Those hearings will conclude next week with the Department of Engineering and Planning. The Capital Projects Group will then begin its meetings in November to review the various capital project requests that have been made by the departments. And I just wanted to advise the board, I will be attending a meeting next week in Parsippany on best management practices for risk management that are specifically focused on county government. So I know that's would be of very little interest to most people, but it's an interesting opportunity to be able to look at some of the issues facing the county as far as liability and workers' compensation insurance. So I'm looking forward to participating in that meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
County Council report?
Yeah, one thing briefly. I just wanted to let you all know that I went to my first meeting, NJAC meeting of the County Councils Association in Trenton yesterday. Very long time getting there and back, but a very interesting group of people. And there's a lot to learn there. And we should be, my other impression was that we should be very happy for some of the problems that we don't have. That's all, thanks.
Thank you. Any unfinished business?
Yes. Is this the appropriate time, if there are some issues, that we discuss them with the college?
Well, go ahead and start and see if
Well,
it fits here.
I'm still waiting for information I requested from the college, that we, at our original meeting prior to, at the VOTEC auditorium, I asked our clerk to send an email over asking for the additional information. If I don't get the information, I will ask that the county college budget be pulled from the agenda and voted on separately during the budget hearing, during budget time. I just don't understand why I'm not getting the information. Has anyone received anything from the college in regards to the financial questions that were asked? I'm simply asking for a meeting with the college. It can be one-on-one, two-on-one, however they want to do it. But I think that some of the questions are just simple questions that were asked and need to be responded to. I think it's unacceptable as a freeholder that they are not responding. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yarman. Any other unfinished business? Any new business? Public session from the floor. Please note, everyone is asked to keep their comments to 5 minutes or less, followed by a 3-minute response time from the Freeholder Board. Please state your name, print your name and municipality on the sign-in sheet. Can I have a motion to open the floor to the public? Motion by Patel. Second by Graham. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The ayes have it. The floor is open to the public.
Hi, Gus Modler, Superintendent of Sussex Tech. I'd just like to update the Freeholder Board on a few things happening at the high school. This week we had our annual WOW tours, which was yesterday and today, where we opened up recruitment to 8th graders in the county. We had over 300 students come from the various middle schools in the county to come see our shop programs. It's a great, exciting day for the students to come in and see what potential opportunities exist at our school. Tomorrow night, on the 25th, we have our annual open house. So we asked the children to bring their parents tomorrow night from 6 to 8. The parents and the students can take a tour of the building and see what we have to offer. We have 120 applications in already, and that application process will close right before the holidays around Christmas time.
And Gus, you take 200 a year in?
About 225, depending on what shop programs the students are applying to. That's our goal.
Is that 300 number average usual, or is that higher or lower?
For the tour group?
Yeah.
We're about 70 students fewer this year, which maybe it's enrollment down in some of the schools. One school didn't choose to come, maybe because of scheduling conflicts, but.
Is it just 8th grade students that come?
Yeah, the open house for the WOW is just for 8th graders. We do the open house tomorrow night for parents and 8th graders, and then we have Tech Trek in November where it's for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. The kids can come in on a Saturday, and they have an opportunity to go into 3 shops, do some hands-on activities. So it's kind of reaching out to the 7th and 6th graders to say, hey, this is what we have to offer down the road. you saw in the newspaper this week, we participated at Picayune Arsenal last week in the STEM program, the annual pumpkin toss. So our engineering students, welding students, and our carpentry students built the trebuchet, and they were able to launch that pumpkin with 400 feet and came
Raising a
first.
great bunch of vandals.
So, yes. So a lot of fun. Teachers really got into it. Kids got into it. But it was good, really good article in the paper about Sussex Tech. So just want to share that piece with you. To Mr. Yarley's point earlier, we're working on the cost analysis that you had asked us about. I'm still waiting on some information from our architect on energy costs for the school, so I'll have that to you shortly. And we did send over to Greg, I believe, the tuition rates that you had asked for the
Yes,
past
thank
7
you
years.
very
So
much.
that information, we're trying to wrap it up so we get to you in a timely manner. I had a meeting on Monday with Dr. Conley and Dr. Amante to kind of continue that discussion we had here back at Stillwater when I presented and back from the 20th. So the three of us are going to sit down and talk about some of those topics that we presented last week and try to keep that momentum going. I'll keep you posted on how that goes. On November 16th, the Community College Leadership Summit is going to be held in Middlesex County, and the New Jersey Council of County Colleges have reached out to 21 vocational superintendents, and they invited us to go. So we are going to participate in a discussion with the County College Council on vision and direction of the schools statewide going forward. So myself and our program coordinator from our guidance department, David Kuiper, are going to be going to that meeting just to provide some opportunity to talk about Sussex County and what maybe we could do statewide between the VOTECs and the colleges. So we really want to be participative in any of those opportunities to work with County College. And again, like I said, we'll get that cost analysis over as soon as we can. So just trying to keep you guys updated on what's happening.
Question,
Yes, sir.
can you send that information on that meeting over to us, the date and time?
For Monday or the 16th?
The 16th.
Okay, I'll get that to you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Anyone else in the public? Mr. Reed?
Sir, can you just
Victor.
write your name?
Here, gonna go. After you.
Victorina, Franklin, New Jersey. Sorry I didn't read the agenda. I only got up and spoke out of turn. I'd like to just say a few words about the VOTEC versus the community college, Sussex County Community College. It seemed to be an issue. I was just a young person when they built the VOTEC a few years ago. That was a long time ago. And when they built that institution, there was a big controversy in Sussex County, whether that should be a VOTEC or would it better suit to be a two-year community college. And as we all know, back in the 60s, VOTEC won out. Sometime later, Dr. Connors came to Sussex County and built a community college, which was another great decision. But we are not losing our jobs in New Jersey and Sussex County because of lack of skilled labor. We have the best skilled labor in Sussex County, in New Jersey, than probably any other state. And we are proud of that. We have a great education system, but we are losing our jobs because of taxes. I think we all know that. We not only rate #1 in education, we rate #1 in taxes. And in my opinion, I think to have the college pick up the VOTEC job skills is like a belt and suspenders. I think that's what the VOTEC was created for. They have the reputation, they have the tools, and I think for that, for the Sussex County taxpayers to have a burden of the project that's going to go on in McGuire's space would be money better spent on upgrading both the VOTEC and the college and let them do their separate institutions, what they were chartered for, and take the money, if there's any left over, and provide us with transportation so we can move our people from Sussex County into Morris County and wherever the jobs will take them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions?
Anyone else in the public?
Joanne Tatkin, 151 Maple Road from Franklin. Some years ago, the homestead was sold, and I don't remember the amount of money, but at that time, they said they were gonna put that money away, and has that money been used, or is it still put away?
That's Mr. Graham.
May I have that? Yes, both. Yes, it was put away.
Is it still there?
No, well, yes, both. Okay, it was put away, and then a loan was taken out against that money to buy a bond. And the bond was being used to purchase more solar when the solar project went south. And so, I'm trying to remember how much money was involved. $7 million. $7 million was loaned from the county to the county, using that as a financial instrument. That money was then put into purchasing more solar to finish up the project. It was something that happened. It was before anybody's time here.
So there's no money there?
No, every year that financial instrument gets the money back, because the payments are being made back against it. So at this point in time, it's probably maybe in a 10-year, and I think we're 2.5 years into it, so about 25% is back. The money is still there. It would be like if you have a house. You own a house, and you take a mortgage against it. You still have a house, but you do not own full, free and clear that money, that house. And it's the same thing. Basically, the money was mortgaged.
So are you saying that the solar systems have been paid off?
No,
Or
no,
being
not
paid
yet.
off?
The solar systems are being paid off, but they're being paid off at a rate that the county is encumbered for right now for about $2 million a year.
For how many years?
It's about 10. About 10 more to go.
2 million?
Yes,
10
that we're
years.
lost, and we're running negative on. Even though there are monies coming in against for solar power that's being generated, it's not being generated anywhere near the numbers that it should be.
Okay. I was gonna ask you about the solar panel. And I had seen a while back that the county 911 system was being reviewed. Is that not a good system? Because like, I know our town doesn't have the county system, but I had asked about it in the past. Is it reliable, and is it operating to potential?
Pass it off to Mr. Lazaro. Just push your button there.
Is it reliable? Absolutely. It's an excellent system. It's got state-of-the-art equipment on it. Is it at its full potential? Not even close. It is equipped and has the potential to handle the entire county, and it should be handling the entire county. At this point, some people have decided to hold on to their own situation, but we see some growth coming in. Byram just came in, and they're very happy and very pleased with the results that they're getting. And there's talk of other towns there on up the line that are ready to come in. It's a great thing because it has the potential of putting the dollars and cents back into the communities. That does not have to go for this. It will cost them less, so far as we can determine, to do it on a county-wide basis. The long-term goal was for the new upgraded 911 system to be able to link with the state system. The state, however, has lagged far behind in their commitment to put the rock together. That's what they call the central system down in Trenton, so that linkage could take place. So we're probably ahead of the game. Monmouth County's probably ahead of the game. There's a couple of other counties that have taken the initiative and that are ahead of game and in a good place. But it's a good thing. It's got its kinks just like everything else does.
How many municipalities are in it right now?
12?
Plus the spinal, but some of them are only in it for EMS, fire department.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else from the public?
I'm gonna have to remember this nifty little sign-in sheet for my meeting. Thank you for the idea. Nick Giordano, Mayor of Franklin, I want to say thank you for having your meeting here. I appreciate you guys coming. I'm a little embarrassed, honestly. I wish there were more people here. Sadly, there really isn't the turnout I had hoped for. And I apologize to you personally for being late. It was not my intention. We had a mayor's meeting at the Mohawk House, and I had to go to that.
Who's mayor of the year?
The mayor of Lafayette is mayor of the year, Mr. Hughes. So that was nice, and it was we had a good chat from the FDA people and the Department of Transportation people about that.
And JTPA?
Yes.
We do appreciate it.
Yeah, it was actually a good presentation, so we got some good, interesting feedback going on there. But I want to take the opportunity to thank Freeholder Lazaro and Freeholder Director Rose as Alcoa Freeholders for their volunteerism over the years. I appreciate all the work that you guys have done personally. I think it's great that you guys were on the board. I'm happy that you came to Franklin. I appreciate all the work that all the freeholders do. I'm very happy for Miss Lyons because you stole her from my clutches and made her the clerk of your board before I could make her the clerk of my board. And also I want to say congratulations, Mr. Kelly, for a very well-deserved position where he is, and I'm very happy for him personally.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to mention, and to the council people, that it's a genuine pleasure to sit up here tonight.
You get to turn tables on us.
You all know what I mean.
Yeah, so I'm very happy that you guys came to Franklin, and I would really love for this tradition of the freeholders on the road to continue. And I would love for you to come to Franklin more often, and anything we can do to help you, we're always game for a challenge. And you know, I'm very happy to see you guys here. So if there's anything that you guys need, I'm happy to help. So
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for the invitation here tonight.
Thank you, and thank you very much as Alcoa Freeholders. I really deeply appreciate all the work that you've done, and I know you had a huge part in making Sussex a success again, and I appreciate that. My grandmother lived in Sussex for many years. I really appreciate it personally. Obviously, being a latent Franklin boy, I appreciate that.
I was born and raised for the first 3 years of my life in Franklin. So.
Yes, he was. So 3 houses away from me.
That's right.
So,
thank you
very much for coming tonight.
Anyone else in the public? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the meeting to the public and return to regular order of business? Motion by Lazaro, second by Cotillo. Discussion? All those in favor? Those opposed? The ayes have it. The floor is closed to the public. Reminders, just the most important one, November 4th at 1:00 p.m. The Salute to Military Veterans Parade is being held at Sussex County Fairgrounds. No charge to come. It's a great event. Please make sure you can go. Executive session, closed session. Resolution regarding providing for an executive closed session not open to the public in accordance with the provisions of NJSA 10:4-12 et sec. Whereas the subject matter is about to be discussed may be excluded from the public portion of the meeting by resolution of the Board of Chosen Freeholders as an exception to the quote Open Public Meetings Act end quote pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12b, and whereas it appears necessary for the Board of Chosen Freeholders to discuss such matters in executive session, now therefore be resolved that the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Sussex, in accordance with provisions of NJSA 10:4-12b and NJSA 10:4-13, that the Board at this time enter into an executive session which the public shall be excluded, and be it further resolved that the general nature of the subjects to be discussed related to the following items authorized by NJSA 10:4-12b as designated below. Matters related to litigation, negotiation, and attorney-client privilege, specifically pending litigation. Be it further resolved that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination by the Sussex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, provided by law that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality, and be it further resolved that upon completion of business which the board has entered into the executive session. The board shall reconvene and resume this meeting open to the public. Be it further resolved, the board expects not to take formal action after returning from the executive session except to adjourn the regular meeting. A motion to adopt the executive session resolution, enter into executive session.
So moved.
Motion by Patil, second by Lazar. Discussion. All those in favor? Those opposed? The ayes have it. We are in the executive session.